Welcome to the channel. Today I thought we'd have a little chat about how to get into shooting in general. Now, before we start, this is obviously for target shooting or practical shooting, not for hunting or anything like that. This is the pathway that gets you, where when you get your firearms license, it'll say for target shooting as one of the conditions. The easiest way there is to find a club. If you go onto Google Maps or something like that and you type in your area and RPC or rifle and pistol club, that's probably the fastest way of finding something. Now, if there's only one, then that's pretty much it. If there are multiples, you should ask a number of searching questions. The first one is, which disciplines do they do? Those basically break down into what sort of guns do you fire and what do you do with the guns that you do fire. Now, at the base level is bound to be rimfire. If you can't shoot rimfire, then you effectively have an air rifle range. Rimfire comes in a number of different flavors. You have people that shoot target rifle. That's basically you have a sort of leather jacket and a big glove, and you're lying down and you're aiming at a target and you shoot, and it's quite a meditative, slow shooting. You tend to have one shot sort of rifles, bolt action things. Up from there is probably where you have a gallery rifle sort of club. Gallery range is, it still allows you to do the target shooting, but it also means you can also just stand up and you can stand at a firing point and you can effectively plink various rimfires. At that stage, you're looking at semis. They'll probably have a Ruger 1022 as a club gun, or some sort of AR platform, and you can basically just target shoot paper. And then the third level would be that you then go into clubs that offer more practical shooting. They'll have a setup, either something with lights that tells you now shoot a target, now stop sort of thing. Maybe there's a bit of maneuver involved in it where you can walk towards the target. Maybe there's switching between firearms, that sort of things. So that's roughly your sort of scale. Now, in my experience, a club that will do practical shooting tends to, in one way or another, facilitate the other sports as well. Whereas if you have a club that is set up for target shooting, you're not going to be able to do any practical shooting in there. It's just not what they do. Now, the second question that you should ask is whether they do gallery rifle shooting. Gallery rifle shooting is basically pistol calibers, either out of rifles, underlevers, or long barrel pistols, that sort of thing. And that again breaks down into two. You have places that allow that, but only with lead bullets and only at restricted powers. So if you can't shoot a magnum round there, you get other places that will let you shoot magnum rounds, but only lead. And you get other places that don't care what head is on there as long as it's not a hollow point, because they tend to make a mess of the backstop. That's your gallery rifle, that's your pistol calibers. The next thing you want to ask is whether they do full bore shooting. Now, full bore shooting rarely happens at the club you're at, although some clubs are very lucky and they have a full bore range at the side. Full bore shooting is when you shoot anything that comes that is proper rifle ammunition. So that would be 223, 308, that sort of thing. And that tends to be done at either civilian rifle ranges or military rifle ranges, and it's where the club effectively travels to a place to shoot. So that wouldn't happen in a clubhouse. The rest, I should hope, happens in a clubhouse, although they are gypsy clubs that travel all over the place. But full bore shooting tends to happen on a dedicated range. Now, you want to ask if they do full bore shooting, because full bore shooting is very well worthwhile having. Next come probably clubs that offer muzzle loading. Muzzle loading is also quite popular. That means you get to shoot black powder, revolvers, stuff like that. It's all very smoky, and they tend to be their separate little groups. They tend to have a night at some stage. Some clubs offer it, some clubs don't, but it's well worth asking if they do. And then finally you get into places that offer practical shotgun or even target shotgun, anything where you can shoot a shotgun at the club, or where the club creates outings for shotgun. That's the next discipline. A club that offers most of those should be more interesting to you than a club that offers only one or two. Unless, of course, you want to specialize into something. Now, you get people that specialize, they do one thing, they do it very well, but that's really the only thing they do. that's not something that I would recommend. I really, especially when you start out shooting, try a bit of everything. This is another point that we should really discuss. Have a look at the people that are there and have a look whether you actually want to spend time with those. Because the way these clubs work is that you tend to have an experienced group of people that are always there, and they effectively the ones that are going to train you how to shoot. So you're going to have a coach, and you likely come in with a group of people which are also learning shooting at the same time. And those people are going to be your shooting buddies. Those are the people you hang out with. I mean, I hang out with people that, I taught to shoot 15 years ago, I still spend time with. And the guy that taught me to shoot, he still hangs around somewhere as well, and you kind of bump into all these people. So, if you find a club, make sure that it's a club where you feel, you kind of like the people. You don't have to love them, but, just that you can tolerate them. Let's go with that. And provided that is there, you should then build up a circle of friends within the club. And, at that stage, that bodes well for shooting future. The fundamental reality about shooting is that it's really rather quite boring. And when you start, there's an excitement, but that excitement fades reasonably quickly. And so fundamentally, you need you go shooting for the people. It turns into a bit like like golf. You pick up your mates, you go to a range, you shoot, you have fun, you have laugh, you lie in the grass, you take turns, who can get the most V-balls, I don't know. And then at the end of the day, you pack up, maybe you get lunch, and then you go home. It turns into that sort of thing. Alternatively, it's you meet up every Wednesday is club night, and you go and shoot with all the black powder people, and you show up and you have your gun, and you shoot at target. There's probably various competitions or mail order competitions that you can take part in. And, great. It's that you want. Now, there's an alternative, and that is probably the NAA. The NAA is the national body that covers shooting. And the thing that I'm hesitant there is that I don't think you're going to get that friendship group. And that's just my preconception. I've not taught through the NAA. I taught through I got taught through a little club. So I know how it works in little clubs. And I was the club coach in a little club. I understand little clubs. I've never done the NAA course. But I always got the impression that in the NAA, you go through it and you get your paperwork and, off you go. And the NAA does run a shooting club, but I think I'm not sure you're going to see the same people. So I'm not sure you're just going to build up those friendships. Have a hunt around what's local to you. I mean, fundamentally, you're not going to go to the NAA anyway if, the trip is too far. You really need something that is quite close. And go in with an open mind, have fun, enjoy the process, and I hope you make it, and I hope you get to have some fun shooting. I hope this video was interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.